Hello NLM 545, this is Matthew Gandy, and this is my Week 2 video on the Volunteerism module, particularly the Hager article on management capacity and the retention of volunteers. So looking at the prompt, the first statement on there is noting the things that have an influence on the reporting of recruitment problems within an organization. Most of these characteristics seemed logical to me. Going through the reading, none of them really arose too many questions, except for the statement of liability coverage. Particularly because I've never questioned if liability coverage was even a thing. And, at first I didn't think this was very accurate, which was ignorance. But the more I thought about it, I realized that just because you're a nonprofit organization does not bar your organization from one of your employees committing sexual assault or sexual harassment, at work, which is a sad but very important thing to have liability coverage for. You also have a wide array of volunteers working in many different areas. Many areas that something could happen. You're working with children, you're working with sensitive groups in the population. After I thought about it more, the liability coverage made a lot of sense. But moving forward to the next statement on the prompt, it talks about the things that have no influence on recruitment. And this one is where I had a little bit more, particularly on the number of duties available to volunteers not having an influence on recruitment. The reason why is, for me particularly, going into an organization to volunteer, I would say my number one thing is the number of duties available to me. I'm going into an organization that, is near and dear to my heart, and, I want to make a difference. I want to do something. I want my time to be used to the best of its availability, because I want to do as much as I can. So to see that the number of duties available to volunteers has no influence on recruitment it created a big conflict with me, because that is what would influence my recruitment. And then even reading the volunteer engagement textbook on page 93, talking about volunteer retention, they state that so many of our recognition programs and measurements are all about the length of service. What's most important is the impact people make on our mission. Retention is often part of the impact after all. It makes sustainable long-term commitment to solve serious social problems. So, making that statement about what you're doing is stimulated by the number of duties available in my train of thought. So, for me, I'm having a hard time accepting that particular characteristic of things that have no influence on recruitment, but I generally agree with the rest of them. And that's my 2 cents. Thank you.